Good morning, students. In our today's business studies class, we are going to learn directing part 3. We are learning the elements of directing. In that elements of directing, today we are going to discuss in detail about motivation. We know that motivation can be said as it is a simulation. It can be inspired by others and it can induce the employees to do their work in a better capacity. So we can conclude that motivation is a psychological term. It can be forced to the employees by the leaders. This is called motivation. The term motivation can be defined further with the three internal terms of that, or we can say the related terms of motivation. It is motive, motivation, and motivator. Let's discuss about these three internal terms. Motive. Motive is an inner state that energizes, activates, and directs the behavior towards the goal. It arises out of the needs of the individuals. For example, we can say if the person is hungry, the need for the food causes hunger on account of which a person searches for food. Some such motives are hunger, thirst, security. All this will motivate the person to reach that, to overcome that difficulty. Second one is motivation. It is the process of simulating the people to act to accomplish the desired goal. It depends upon the satisfying needs of the individual. Whereas in the case of motivators, it is a technique. Whereas motive and motivation is not a technique, where motivators is a technique to used to motivate the people in an organization to achieve. This technique of motivators can be a incentive or a promotion or a tour package. Some identification or recognition done by the organization to the employee. So these are all the some basic definitions. We can go with a basic definition. It is also listed in your textbook in page number 185. They have given a definition of motivation as motivation means a process of simulating people to an action to accomplish desired goal. This is the definition given by William G. Scout. Likewise, and few more definition also given there in your book. Please go through that. Now let's move on to the features of motivation. Motivation is an internal feeling, and this urges, desires, aspirations, striving, or needs of human being, which are internal, and it can be influenced the human behavior. For example, many people have the desire for possessing a car or a latest race bike, comfortable luxurious house or comfortable house, reputation in the society. These all are just the internal to one individual, everybody, basic need of a human being. Motivation produces goal directed behavior. For example, if we join in any organization, we want to grow further. We don't want to stagnant in a single place. That is, we want continuous promotion to go to the apex of the company organization, right? So likewise, motivation is the one which produces the goal directed behavior of the employee to reach better heights. Motivation can either be positive or negative. Positive motivation provides the uh, that is recognition by the organization. The management recognizes the employee, giving promotion or some incentives, etc. Negative motivation means like a punishment. There is no increment for a certain period or no job confirmation, threatening of their job. All these will lead to the motivation can be done in a negative way. It will cause a reverse effect in the organization. And motivation is not a simple process. It is a very complex process because it depends upon the individual. No two individuals are same. All individuals are heterogeneous. They are not like same. So motivation is a very complex one. Any type of motivation may not have a uniform effect on all the one. So every individual have to motivate with a different. Some of them with a financial, some of them with non-financial. They may happy, they may motivated by that. So we can't say that it can be done only by this way. It is person to person. The motivation part is different. The process of motivation. Motivation process is based on a human need. On your screen, you are seeing a process. Unsatisfied of an individual creates a tension. which simulates or drives the particular persons to search for it. After satisfying that need, the successful satisfaction of the need for the individual, the reduction of tension is happen. This can be simply said with an example. If you are in a mood of hungry, you want to have your meal, then you are in a position to search for a shop. Once you found out the correct shop, and if you had your lunch meal, then the hungry will reduce. You will be out of the tension. Likewise, the process of motivation. This is a simple example of hungry. It can be for any desire to purchasing a car, a good social status in the society. All is a process of motivation. As such, we earlier discussed that motivation is a complex process. We have to now know about the what are the importance of motivation. In our book, in page number 186, they have given some discussion about the motivating employees in the Tata Steel. Please kindly go through that. Once you read that one, then you will easily understand what is the importance of motivation. Motivation is considered as important because it helps to identify and satisfy the human needs. Once the human need is satisfied, then automatically where that human is employed, there he or she will discharge their 100% duties. This motivational, various kinds of motivational may help them to grow their individual as well as the organization. Motivation helps to improve the performance level of the employees, and not only it will help the employees to grow, also it will help the organization to grow. The proper motivation satisfies the needs of the employees. For example, good motivation in the organization helps to achieve the higher level performance. The motivation can be a promotion given, or either a reward is awarded to the particular employee will help that particular employee to work better along with the achieving organizational goal. Next one, motivation helps to change the negative attitude of the employee to positive attitude. We said that already. Negative means there is no promotion, somewhat punishment, no job security. All those will give some refers bad effects of that. Whereas these bad effect can be easily overcome by good positive effects, like giving a suitable reward for them properly, and encouragement word from the supervisor or immediate superior, pricing the good work in front of the others will all give develop a amicable situation for the employee to work in that organization. So it will start to slowly develop the positive environment towards that employee. Next one, motivation helps to reduce employee turnover and thereby saves the cost of new recruitment and training. Generally, when we achieve the target of the management, it should reduce the cost. That is the foremost aim. We should not incur more cost. When we do the motivation, then automatically the employee turnover is reduced. That is, the we have to look for a changes of the employees will be stopped. The new recruitment, there is no new recruitment. The main reason for a higher rate of employee turnover is only lack of motivation. If the managers identify the motivational needs of the employee, they have to provide that. It can be a financial oriented or it can be a non-financial oriented. Then the employee never think of leaving that particular organization. If they don't move to the new organization, there is no turnover of the employees will be there. Then there will be no training, no cost. It can be a cost control one. So motivation helps to save such cost to the management. And the management also, this motivation also helps the management to retain the talented people with the organization. Motivation helps to reduce the absenteeism. Absenteeism means somewhat the people are irregular to their work. It is caused because of the bad working condition, inadequate rewards, or lack of recognition, or conflicts among the employees, poor relationship with subordinate and colleagues. All this leads to sometimes superiors. All this leads to some absenteeism in the organization. This all can be removed by a good motivational system. If a proper motivation is adequately provided, the work becomes a working situation become a pleasurable one. So there will be no absenteeism in this. The last one is motivation helps to reduce the managers to introduce the changes smoothly without much resistance from the people. For generally, if there is any new change is going to happen in the organizations, there will be somewhat friction occurs among the employees. Many of them may not like that, so the resistance will be offered from the employee side in the beginning. It can be easily overcome by a proper motivation. If the manager can convince the employees of the proposed change will bring them additional rewards to the employees, then they will readily accept the change. So the manager should aware of how to motivate the people, and he should be in a good communicative person to communicate the now what is the changes going to occur around them and how it is going to help them. If he explained that in a convincing manner, then it is very easy to introduce any new changes. When we talk about this motivation, there is a person called Abraham Maslow. Without that person, we can't discuss anything about motivation. He's a well-known psychologist, and he has given that overall outline of all theory of motivation. In front of you, the screen shows the Maslow's pyramid. Actually, he divided that motivation of a people into three major categories, that is basic need, psychological need, and self fulfillment needs. Based on these needs only, a person's motivation can be achieved. It is like a triangle. The base of the triangle is physiological needs. The next is safety needs. Above that, belongingness. Above that, esteem. And the apex of the triangle is with self actualization. This is called Maslow's pyramid or a Maslow's need hierarchy theory of motivation. Actually, it is a very complex one, and it is majorly focusing. We said that there are different individuals, so everybody is having their own motivational targets. So it is a complex process of psychological. So it have a different dimensions, and there are many different theories, but the best one and which is based on this Maslow's pyramid only, we are generally discussing the hierarchy theory. This theory is called Maslow's hierarchy theory. Let's discuss about the five individual part of this pyramid. The base of the pyramid is basic physiological needs. What is the basic physiological need? Food, shelter, all these things, safety, place to stay. All these are all the some of the basic needs of the all the human being. So in an organization, the employee's basic need is fulfilled by giving a basic good salary. So his basic need is satisfies there. The second one is safety or security needs. Safety or security, it can be a protection from physical and emotional. Both can be identified here as a security need. It can be fulfilled through job security, that is giving the offer of a permanent job and the stability of income. Sometimes the pension plan, what is the additional perks they are the organization is giving to the employee. All these will fulfill the safety and security need for the employee. The third one is affiliation or belonging needs. This refers to the affection or acceptance or friendship. This all can be satisfied in an organization through teamwork. The next one is esteem need. This includes factors like self respect, autonomy status, recognition. This all can be fulfilled by given proper appreciation to the employee, recognizing, offering some promotions. All these will satisfy the esteem need of an employee. And the apex and the top of the pyramid is actualization needs, or we can say that self actualization needs. It refers to the drive to become what one is capable of becoming, and it can be fulfilled by providing the challenging in working and giving them flexibility and autonomy in their jobs. So with all these things, we can make that a self fulfillment of the employees to achieve the goal. Manage This Maslow's theory is based on the few assumptions that people's behavior is based on their need, and the satisfaction of such need influences their behavior. Because it is a psychological one, so we have to do following assumption. Then second one is people needs are in hierarchical order, starting from basic need to higher levels. The base of every individual need is to satisfy their basic physiological need. Yeah, satisfied need can no longer motivate a person. Only the next level can motivate the person. A person moves to the next higher level of the hierarchy only when the lower need is satisfied. Once his basic psychological, physiological needs satisfied, then only he will think about safety and security need. Once this satisfies, then only he will think of that affiliation need. Then only he will go with the esteem need. Then finally, if all four of these needs are satisfied, then only that individual will think about the self actualization needs. So this is what the Maslow's need hierarchy theory of motivation goes with. When we talk about the motivation, we said it can be a financial and non-financial motivation. It is nothing but an incentive. It means some measures which are used to motivate the people to improve their performance. The incentives can be divided into two broad categories as financial and non-financial. Financial means we know that by the name itself, it can be offered with the mean of income. So we'll discuss about what is about the types of financial incentives. The first one is pay and allowance. For every individual employee, salary is the basic and it is the basic monetary incentive. It includes some basic pay, DA, TA. There are so many subdivisions and it can be also added with their housing rent allowance, some medical allowance, and if there is any increments may be given based on the performance, all will come under this pay and allowance. Next one is productivity linked wage incentive. That is, it is a different type of incentive plans. That is whatever their production level, the individual production level, it will be maximum suitable in case of a marketing. How they are achieving their target, based on that, the increment will be rewarded to them. Bonus. Bonus is an incentive offered over and above the wages or salary to the employees. It can be yearly once or two. All the employees of the organization will receive this bonus. Profit sharing. It's a very different and recently in many companies in India is using this methodology of profit sharing. Profit sharing, it is used to provide the share to the employees in the profit of the organization. It serves to motivate the employees to performance and they have to contribute more to increase the profit, then they also will be benefited by that. The next one is co-partnership on stock option. This is nothing but the same type of a profit sharing. Instead of a profit monetary, company shares. Under this incentive scheme, the employees offered company shares at a set price which is lower than the market price. Leader in this type of financial incentive in India is Infosys. You all know that it is a very famous software concern. They are the first one to introduce such a type. So they are following that they will give a scheme of stock option to their part of the managerial incentive for their employees. The next one is retirement benefit. When they started career, they all will look forward their basic physiological need. At the end, the towards the retirement age, everybody is having some uh, question on that. What about their future? How they are going to spend their retirement life? So there are many organization will give the retirement benefits as PF, provident fund, pension, etc. And bequests. It is the in many companies. These benefits are offered as car allowance, housing rent allowance. Sometimes they will offer the employees' children's education towards the education of the employees' children. All will be the benefits will be allowed. All these types are comes under the financial incentives. Apart from their uh, general package, these are all the benefits experienced and enjoyed by the employee in an organization. Now we'll see about what are all the non-financial incentives. Non-financial incentives gives the non-monetary, but it will satisfy the employee need in terms of social status like giving rewards, recognizing their work in a public meeting, and it can be even go for a simple promotion. All this will comes under the non-financial incentives. The first one is status. So in organizational, status means ranking up of the position. Organizational climate. It indicates the characteristics which describes the organization and distinguish the one organization from the other one. So how better is that? How the individuals work individually, how their individual decisions are uh, respected here will be given here. Career advancement opportunity. It means that every individual wants to grow higher level. The sharpening of the individual skills will be done here. Job enrichment. It concerned with the designed job include the greater variety. That is the whatever the latest techniques, what are the latest technologies for that particular job has to be given, introduced to the employee. The employee has to be trained with them. This will help both employee and the employer to achieve the target. Employee recognition program. This is the it is a word of appreciation that is called recognition here. They should feel that what they do should be recognized by the others. This is what every employee will think. So recognition here comes as acknowledgement of the show appreciation of that employee. Job security. Job security means they have to be satisfied with their job, and they should not think about the changing of job or some threatening in the job. It has to be given them that the stability of their future income and their job has a stable, the job stability. Employee participation. It means involving employees in decision making issues related to the management. In many companies, this program are in practiced in the form of joint management committee, work committee, where all the employees will have forum. They can discuss their challenges. They can discuss and come out with a solution for the challenges they are facing. And the last one is employee empowerment. Empowerment means giving more autonomy and powers to the subordinate. So, to the particular respective level of their working, they can have their own decision making. This feeling contributes positively to the use of skills of and the talents of all the employees. These are some of the non financial incentives. Student, with this we are winding up the motivation or one of the element of directing. We have learned today what is motivation, what are its features, why it is important, and what is the process of motivation. And also we learned about Maslow's theory of need and incentives. Kindly go through the same topic, and already I have mentioned two different page numbers to read in your NCRT textbook. Kindly go through it. As usual, prepared MCQ questions for this. Thank you, children. I will catch you with the next topic. Thank you.